Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marion County Hardball. We have Tim Brooks with us tonight, who's a candidate for Marion County Mayor. And before we get into that, Tim, we're going to be hosting a roundtable for the mayoral candidates here in the next few weeks. We'd love to have you come.
Just let me know when. I'll be there.
Okay. Hope to get that scheduled in the next couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
And I would like to take the opportunity. We have several mayoral candidates who've been on interviewed. We have several that have not been on an interview. I'd like to take the opportunity to invite them to come on Marion County Hardball and interview. And we want them to be a part of the roundtable. We want everybody that's running to be a part of the roundtable. And I want to make sure I did reach out to the chairman of the Marion County Democrats and offered to interview her and any Democratic candidates. I am a former vice chair of the Democratic Party, and I'm willing to conduct the interviews if that is a sticking point. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that any candidate or sitting official from any party is welcome and wanted here on Marion County Hardball. And we would love to have some candidates from Jackson County or Grundy County if they'd like to come up. I also want to remind everybody, if you toggle to the top of the Marion County Messenger's page, there's a link to contribute. And I would ask you to consider buying us a cup of coffee. Help Marion County Messenger pay the bills. That goes to me and the Marion County Messenger. Rurik is not employed by me. As a matter of fact, I barely employ myself. So none of that money goes to Rurik or his campaign. It is to support the Marion County Messenger, pay for domains, web fees, program fees, and maybe a little bit of money for me. So please consider doing that. And with that, I want to turn it over to Rurik and Tim Brooks.
Thank you, Duke. Tim Brooks.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I want to, as I've said to every candidate, I absolutely admire what you're doing and your willingness to do what you're doing, because it's not an easy job, and thank you for doing that. Why don't you give a little of an intro to the audience so they know what you're up to. I know you've already been on it one time, but it's always good to reinforce so folks know your name.
My name's Timothy Brooks. I go by Tim. We have been down here for about 3 years in Jasper, or Marion County. Really enjoy it. The people are great. Look forward to serving all of them and doing good things for the community.
Okay, give us a little bit about your background as well so they can...
I've got 25 years of service with the city of Chattanooga, so I've got government experience. I've seen budgets, I've seen a little bit of everything from the courts to moccasin bin to landfills to public works. I've had numerous jobs with the city over my 25 years.
What was your title when you were in the city? What did you
Which one?
Well, when you were at the city for the 25 years, what did you...
I've been, right now I'm an inspector. I do roadways. I've been a heavy equipment operator. I've been an operator. I've been a laborer. I've worked inside the city courts as a clerk. I have done, oh goodness, I worked in the parks and playgrounds for a while at the Orchard Knob Center in Chattanooga.
Why are you running?
I want to help people. I've always enjoyed helping people and working for the people. And I think we have a lot of infrastructure things that need to be done. I think our school system needs a boost. I think there's a lot of things that I can get done for the Marion County people.
Okay, all right. And
did we say the office that you're running for? Because someone is asking.
Yeah.
You're running for
Marion
County Mayor.
Marion County Mayor.
Marion County Mayor, and that may be somebody that joined late.
Yeah. And then, did you say where do you reside right now? I realize in Marion County.
We live up off Highway 41 or Highway 150 up in Gizzard Creek. is where we're at now.
Okay. I know we were kind of getting an idea of the things that you're passionate about. We were talking to one of your opponents, and the airport issue came up. What exactly is your thoughts about expanding the airport, for instance, for high-performance aircraft like a corporate jet? Do you think that's a waste of money, or what's your thoughts on that?
Me personally, I think it's a big waste of money, especially for the taxpayers. Taxpayers down here, we're not flying in private jets. We're not flying, in and out. We live here. We're from here. If you want to see what Marion County is like, fly into Chattanooga. Rent a car, come see the beauty that we have down here. Look at the mountains, see the lakes when you come into Jasper and Marion County, South Pittsburgh. It's actually a good little drive. It's 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get to Marion County from Chattanooga. We don't need a big airport.
Okay, so
taxpayers don't need to be paying for a big airport. And I'm all for growth in Marion County.
Okay.
I mean, growth is great, but we have to have the infrastructure in place to get the growth to come here.
Gotcha.
And right now, my opinion, we don't have the infrastructure to support that.
Okay. What would be the targeted infrastructure items that you'd want to jump after? Roads, water?
Roads are a big thing. I mean, we have potholes everywhere, and our roads are getting older. We need to fix them. We need to get more money going into our road system. We need to get our water system. I don't know if you've taken a lot of showers here. I do. I take one every morning. Our water pressure is nowhere near what it needs to be. We need to get up with our water company and see what we can do to get more water pressure, to get more water to the people.
Okay. So let's say you become mayor, and I'm not consistent in my questions, but your first 100 days, what are you going to attack?
First 100 days. Well, I can tell you the first 2 weeks, I'm going to be out on a truck. I want to go actually out on a physical truck or backhoe, trackhoe in our public works department and work out there. And I encourage anybody that's running for mayor to go out and see what your people do. I want to see what my employees, as a county employee, what's actually working for me. I want to see what we're doing. And I'm one of those that will be hands-on. I will put on my boots, I'll put on my jeans, and I'm going to go to work for the first 2 weeks. After that, then we'll start seeing what we need to get into first.
Okay.
Because it could be we need to improve our Marion County employee staff. And if that's what we need, that's what we're going to do. We're going to improve us.
How would you interface with Mr. Pickett, being that he's the road superintendent?
I'll work with anybody. I mean, there's no problem working with Mr. Pickett at all. Heard great things about him from different people. So I don't see a problem working with him at all.
Okay, so first 2 weeks you're going to put some boots on. You're going to get out there and look at a lot of the infrastructure needs that we have and work with the employees. Okay.
Right. I mean, after that, I would say I'm going to get with the employees. I'm going to get grant writers, and I'm going to start working on the infrastructure. I'm going to start bringing people in to evaluate the roads, to get people in here to evaluate the water system. And it's like sewer maintenance. We got to get some sewer stuff done.
Okay.
We have someone that appears to be a little bit lost. They're asking, is this Lebanon or Springfield? This is Marion County, Tennessee, South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell, not Lebanon or Springfield. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so what I'm hearing you say is infrastructure before you would want to attack growth. That's a big deal. Now, how would you work with the Southeastern Development District?
That's bringing in growth, which is what we want to do. But we need, as I said before, we need to improve our infrastructure before we can get to...
Well, I didn't know whether or not you would still utilize them, or would you get independent?
You're going to utilize everybody you've got already.
Okay.
But you've got to get things built up before you can bring in.
Okay.
So when you talk about growth,
Yes.
are we talking about more housing, or are we talking about industrialization?
Bringing in business.
Or are we talking about small business?
Small business.
Small business.
Bring in small business, which will bring more jobs. Hopefully bring in small businesses that will pay more, where you can make a livable wage. Getting our teachers more money, where they can make a livable wage, is important to me. Getting programs for our children to go to during the summer. Getting programs for after school is important to me. I would like to bring robotics to Marion County. There are huge competitions that get children or young adults scholarships to colleges on stuff like that. Volkswagen sponsors stuff like that when it comes to robotics.
So you're there again, in order to bring those type programs in, as mayor, your involvement with the school board, you would work with them in order to, or you'd try to encourage them to bring those programs in, because you wouldn't have that authority to do that.
You'd have to work with the school boards and everybody involved, but that's what I would push for.
Okay.
And when we have like Parks and Recreation Department down here, we could have more programs for kids during the summers. Because right now, I've got a 12-year-old son. I would like him to be able to go to a camp here during the summer. And there's not really anything available.
So, do you see the need to modernize the sheriff's office with better pay, equipment, vehicles, and increased staff to help the growth of the county as it expands to stay in front of the curve?
Yes, I do. I think that would be very wise of us to do.
Okay.
I think working with if we get a new sheriff, that would be a great thing to start off with.
Okay.
And to go along with the fire department too. But our children have to come in the mix too.
Yeah.
Not just police officers, fire department, even a mayor. Children have to come first. I'm a very believer in children, because they're going to be our future. And, if we can provide ways for them to get scholarships to colleges, then that's what we need to be doing. We need to be helping them. And our fire and police departments, they are equally as important. And staying ahead of the curve would be important.
Something that people don't talk a lot about, you think about fire, you think about police, but emergency response in general is very important, and of course it involves fire and police. So what do you think about emergency response?
Right now, I think it could get better, but it's going to take more staff. It's going to take more infrastructure. That's what part of your infrastructure doesn't mean you're building every day. Infrastructure is also within. When I said I was going to go to work for Public Works, I want to find out what my Public Works department's doing to improve Marion County. Fire and Police Department, I will go into the Fire and Police Department. Might do a ride-along. I mean, it's possible. But everything time-wise all goes back to infrastructure. Because it's just not because you're building. Building does not just mean infrastructure. Infrastructure is everything as a whole. Marion County as a whole has got to get ready for what's coming.
How are you going to work? You have a commission, obviously, that you'll have to deal with, and you not having any votes when it comes to spending money. How will you interface with the commission in order to achieve what you want to achieve?
Well, you're gonna have to talk to people, and I can talk to people. I mean, you have to talk to them. You have to get them, as everybody always says, you have to get them on your side, and then you find a way to appropriate the money for things.
Okay.
And I don't want to say you're not going to have tax hikes. I do not think that at all. I want to keep Marion County like it is now.
I didn't apologize. As far as what you say about tax hikes?
Tax hikes. I don't.
Tax hikes.
Yeah, I don't think we'd need any, but we're going to have more infrastructure coming in. We're going to have more people coming in. That means more money for the county. So we wouldn't need a tax hike. We'd be able to get more police officers, more fire people, pay our school teachers more, or get more school teachers, get them teachers' aides, stuff like that.
Okay.
This kind of pertains to that. We had a question from Tony Mangiamelli. How do you feel about the Marion County school system, and do you feel like the kids are getting a good education?
As I said, we moved down here 3 years ago. My son goes to Marion County. He is in middle school. We are happy with it. We really enjoy the time we have spent at the school. We've enjoyed talking to the teachers, the principals, everybody that we've spoken with. I think he's doing better than what he was doing when we were in Hamilton County. And it's not just because of where we're at. I think it's because when we were in Hamilton County school systems, it was not, the people were different than what they are here. But yes, I think our school system is very good down here.
When you're going to be obviously appointing a number of positions.
Yes, sir.
I.e. Planning Commission.
Yes.
Which requires obviously confirmation from the commission for each one of your appointments. Mm-hmm. What type of person for the Planning Commission would you be looking for? Are you looking for people that will be compliant with what you want, so really the skills level or the knowledge level isn't as important as them giving you the vote you want? How would you do that?
You don't ever want to do that.
Okay.
I'd rather have someone that's 100 times smarter than me. And I'd rather talk to somebody and listen to them. And then ultimately, it would be a vote. It's not going to just be my way or the highway. I want to be able to bring it to the people. I want to be able to bring it to you and say, hey, what do you think? Or Jane down the street. I want everybody in Marion County to think that they have got a vote in this. Not just Tim Brooks. Everybody's going to be a part of it. Not just one person.
Gotcha. One of the questions that is now circulating a lot more is about the County Powers Act. Okay. Is that something we know on the jump off community area? They're very much realizing that, hey, we have to have some tool in order to regulate businesses that might come in here with a poultry plant or something of that nature. Is that it being that we have nothing, we don't have zoning right now? How would you be able to work in an environment where you have a number of people coming to you and saying, hey, we don't want that company in our backyard? Not having any tools to work with from the commission side, how would you deal with that?
It's a very good question. I have not thought very much about that. But zoning, as long as the people don't lose the land rights. If you bring in too much zoning, you're going to lose land rights. And I do not want the people of Marion County to lose their land rights.
So would you do more regional or more spot zoning, or how would you handle that?
Spot zoning would not work either, because let's say you own a farm and a paper mill wants to come in right behind you. You wouldn't want that. That would mean your spot would be zoned farming, but the paper mill could be zoned for paper mill. That's not, you want to do zoning, if you're going to do zoning countywide. But that also means you're picking and choosing what companies can come and go.
That's true. So zoning wise is not something that you would, as long as it didn't necessarily take rights away, which unfortunately, zoning in essence
takes the rights away.
It does take rights away.
And I'm not for, I don't want the people to lose the rights to their land. I want you to have the rights to your land. And if you want to buy the 100 acres or 50 acres that's behind you, you have the right to do that.
I agree.
I mean, if I want to buy the 50 acres and it's for sale behind me, I should be able to buy it. And it should be my right to decide that. I don't think if you have a zoning commission, you're going to be told, oh, you can do this with your land.
That's right.
You can have this person here and this person there. I don't agree with that. And I mean, yes, I've been with the city of Chattanooga 25 years, and they have R1, R2, R4 zonings. And that's basically telling people what they can do with their land. I don't want to come down here and say, oh, you can't do that with your house. You can't do that with your yard. That's wrong. 100% wrong. You bought that land. You paid for it. You should be able to do what you want to. And I'm not saying that you should be able to start a company up in the middle of, a neighborhood, but you should be able to do somewhat what you want.
Well, I guess that's the problem.
Right.
Is how do you make sure that people, when they buy a piece of property, that they retain their rights, and at the same time, how do you protect those very people that said, hey, that 100 acres that's next to me is going to have a big industrial complex on it. They bought the property too. It's their property.
If the infrastructure can do it, then I think they should be able to do it.
Okay.
I don't, but I'm not taking your right away from your land.
Right.
You're saving your rights to your land.
So in essence,
no one said that you couldn't buy your next property next to you.
So complete freedom inside of Marion County for any corporation and any resident. It should be consistent throughout. That basically, it's not a free-for-all, but there's no regulatory nothing other than what the state says about water and stuff. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And that gives the people their rights to their land. It gives if you've got a pond on your land, that's your water. That's not the state of Tennessee's water. That's yours. It's on your land.
So you'll also be appointing folks for a number of committees, again with confirmation from the commission. Let's pick one of the committees. Let's pick the ethics.
Okay.
All right, so what type of people would you want on the ethics committee, and what do you think about the ethics committee that we have presently?
Ethics committee should be from your county that you live in. And they should be, if you could say it, honest people.
You mean like ethical?
Ethical people. That's a good, I would like to say we'd like to get honest people on the committee. I would like to think that we would get people that are from Marion County and know what our needs are. Not just what Tim Brooks wants or you want or anybody. It should be an ethical committee.
What do you think the one that we have today? We'll start with the ethics committee.
I think they're pushed around a lot. I think they're pushed around. I think they're for one person, and whatever they want, that's what they get.
Gotcha.
And that's my opinion. That's not your opinion. That's mine. I think that they ought to look more into what's going on and around, not to what one person wants.
So you'll also be doing the finance committee, and you'll have the animal control. You'll have, and that's a pretty important topic as well, is animal control, because there's a lot of people that want to know what your opinion of having a shelter, and what do you think about animal control?
We have a shelter. We have two, if I'm not mistaken, down here. We have one up in Tracy City.
Well, they're trying. That's Tracy City.
That's Grundy.
Yeah,
but we've got one down here. I think it's a good thing to have a shelter. I'm not against it by no means, because there's things that happen in life. If you have a puppy or you have a dog, you can't afford to feed it anymore. I think you ought to have somewhere to take it where the dog can eat. I mean, I like the idea of that. I think that's a good idea.
And what is your thoughts on animal control?
Are we talking just household pets, or are we talking farm animals?
Well, let's talk about every type of animal we have here.
There's two types of ways of looking at that.
We'll address both.
Farm animals, I think we should be allowed, if you've got acreage in order to have farm animals, I think you ought to be allowed to have them. I mean, chickens, ducks, cows, pigs, whatever you want. If you've got the acreage to take care of it and you've got the means to take care of your animals, you ought to be able to have them.
So the animal control person would be if they deemed, or if a neighbor called and said, hey, their horses aren't being fed.
Then
Do we need something like that? And if we do, how would you pay for it?
animal control, that would go back to the taxpayers. The taxpayers would have to pay for animal control, yes.
Okay, so I've got a bunch of questions online. And first of all, someone that joined late, this is Tim Brooks, who's running for Marion County Mayor. We had Melissa Pickett ask, what would you do for Marion County for the homeless and for rehab?
What do you mean for rehab, number one?
I'm assuming she means drug rehabilitation.
That we'd have to check into. I don't know what we have down here set right now. I don't know if there's a place to send the homeless.
For homeless, there's nothing.
Okay. We might need to start a soup kitchen. Start feeding people. Everybody needs to eat. Maybe we could get some churches involved in order to start helping. I know there's a couple of empty buildings. Maybe we could start a shelter for them. Mm-hmm. That's a good question that I don't have a direct answer for right now, but I can check into it and get back to somebody.
We have a question from Mac Reeves. How would you work with Sequatchie, Bledsoe counties, and the outside entities that control the water system in a large percentage of Marion County, meaning the Sequatchie River?
It all goes back to a Clean Water Act. Mm-hmm. We would probably need to work with them to build towers to get water pressure down here. Mm-hmm. And once again, that costs money. And we could get grants from the federal government to get the money to build these things.
Okay.
So, and that's another thing I would be getting. I would want my own grant department in order to get grants for Marion County for improvements.
So you wouldn't necessarily want to, the Southeastern Development District, they're also grant writers.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we pay them like $50,000 plus, and don't quote me on the number, but I believe it's close to that. And they get a percentage of whatever grants they get. But you would zero it in a little bit more, dial it in more by getting your own grant writing people to come in.
I would have my own grant writing people and have them on a salary.
Now, you're also, as the county mayor, you will be able to hire counsel, which the commission has no confirmation on. So this is employment that works for you.
Yes.
And you hire and fire without any commission involvement.
Yes.
So with that said, how would you go about finding counsel for Marion County to provide you with the county for legal advice?
Like any other job, you interview.
I mean, would you go get a law firm?
I would get a law firm.
Okay.
Yes. I would go outside of Marion County and have outside counsel.
Okay.
I have a question from Sherry Liddy. How do you bring all residents of Marion County together to bridge the misconceptions and rivalries between native born and outsiders?
Have a picnic. No, seriously, everybody's going to feel different about that. There's not just one good answer for that. Because if you've lived here 50 years of your life, and I lived in Chattanooga all except for the last 3, we're going to have different opinions. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. Should we agree on a lot of things? Yes, we should. I'm a landowner down here now. I have my own little farm. I have chickens and I have ducks at this present time. I don't think I'm as good as with all these animals like everybody else has been doing it for their whole life, but I'd try my hardest. And that's what I'm going to do for y'all down here is I'm going to try my hardest to get things for y'all, to do for y'all, or do for me, and do for them, do for everybody. I don't know if that exactly answered the question you were asking.
Okay.
But, and I mean, I would like to have, like, we have Christmas parades, we have the Halloween things going on around. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should just have a Marion County parade, and then all of us come together.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be something we want to look at. Mm-hmm. I mean, to bring everybody closer mm-hmm. as a community.
Right, right. Someone has posted a question about having a mayoral candidate questioning another mayoral candidate, and that is incorrect, is it not, Rurik? You're not a mayoral candidate?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Timothy Rurik is not running for mayor of Marion County.
Okay.
Okay.
I would, if he was, I'd be happy for him to.
Yeah.
We could sit here and talk all day about it.
Absolutely.
I don't see a problem with that. If David Jackson was sitting here, I put my pants on every morning just like David Jackson does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could sit here and have a conversation with him too.
Yeah.
I could have a conversation with Corey Pickett or any of them that want to come in and sit down and talk.
Yeah.
I have no problem talking to anybody.
Well, we do have the we're going to do, as we've already mentioned, the round table.
We're going to do it.
And then we are going to have debates, so you'll have that opportunity.
And I think that's great. Yeah. But I want you to know, if you were running for mayor, I would welcome you. I'd still want to beat you, but I'd welcome you into it.
Well,
then I would sit here and say, thank you very much for running.
Thank you. I don't think, for me personally, the mayoral position is, it's a difficult one, and I'm not qualified by no means to run for mayor. Now, commissioner, I'm probably not qualified to run for either. But I've gone through the 3.5 years, and I've learned a little bit. So we can always improve. No, that's a job for you to rock and roll with and have a ball with.
And I'd love to have it.
Yeah.
But I don't see the point of someone. I don't know why someone would ask, "What do I think about him running?" I could sit here and talk to any human being.
Oh, they didn't ask what you thought about him running. Oh. They just were making a comment about the fact that he was running.
I'm sorry.
And I wanted to clear the air about that because he's not running for mayor.
No.
No. I think we should be able to talk to anybody we want to.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think the objective, and Duke, you correct me if I'm wrong, hardball is our way of making it so that the public can really understand who you are, what you stand for. They want to obviously qualify you, make sure that you're a qualified person that can run a $67 million budget, or thereabouts, if I'm plus or minus on that, because you'll be the CEO of the county. It's a big job.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, I'm tickled to death to see the folks that are putting their name out there and trying to run. And I know just from my experience in interfacing with the executive branch of Marion County, it's not easy. And you're not going to make everyone happy, just like that question. And I've asked the question myself before of one of your opponents. You know, how can you bring, or how can you bridge people that are new to the area, like yourself? You're new to the area, with the people that have been here for generations, for Lord knows how long. How do you bring those traditions together and not have resentment, not have people thinking that you're trying as an outsider to take what they have? That's a really difficult. That's really a difficult question.
But you got to look at it. I lived 35 minutes down the road my whole entire life. Yes, I had friends that lived down here. So it's not like I've never been to Marion County before.
But you're still an immigrant.
I'm still an immigrant, but I did came down here when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. My family was from here.
Yep.
More Grundy, but we were from down here. Mm-hmm. So I mean, got to be knowledgeable about what's going on in other cities also. And I come from Chattanooga. I've seen the budgeting in Chattanooga. I've worked with the people that do the budgets for Chattanooga. So, and that's a lot more than, as he was saying, $67 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost just one department for the city of Chattanooga. So I've seen it. I know how it works. That's another reason I want to come down here. I want to keep things like they are. Small town USA. I think it's great. I wouldn't have moved down here if I didn't like it.
Right.
Before we ever moved down here, I've got friends. We'd come and we'd stay at their houses. We would come down here and have picnics or barbecues at their houses. Different people would be over, we met them. And it was a lot of fun. A couple of them have farms, a couple of them just have regular houses. And we enjoyed it. We came, before we moved down here, we went to the Halloween thing in Jasper. Tons of people, and everybody was so welcoming. And it was nice.
Yes.
Am I going to tell you it was fast-paced? By no means, no. It's slower here. Not anybody's slow. It's slower pace.
It's a slower pace. I
slower
lived in
pace.
Chattanooga for 20 years. It's a slower pace.
Yeah, it's a slower pace down here, and that's great. And I would love to keep it that way. But the more people that move in, it's going to get bigger, and it's going to make things speed up, and it's going to make us need more infrastructure. It's going to make more. We need more police. We need more fire. We need better teachers. We need more teachers. We need more programs for kids, and I cannot emphasize that enough. The programs for kids we need for students that have been here their whole life to students that are coming in. They need it.
And we did have a comment, Rourke, I really appreciate, from Melissa Brown. I really appreciate you giving Marion County residents the opportunity to hear the perspectives of candidates on this platform, and that's something that Rourke and I both wanted to do. I would note that Rourke, at the time that we first started talking about this, was chairman of the Republican Party, and I was vice chairman of the Democratic Party, and we thought it'd be a great idea to have a platform where both parties were represented and we could interview everybody.
Yeah, and one of the things, and being that you're in the hot seat right now, which I hope it's not hot.
All good.
There's been, I won't say allegations, that we're biased.
Yeah.
In some fashion, shape, or form. You're sitting here, do you get a sense of any biased questions or anything of that nature?
I don't think you're biased in the least. I think this is a great platform to be on. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm running as an independent in this election, which means if you're a Democrat, you can vote for me. If you're a Republican, you can vote for me. If you like what I have to say, you can vote for me, which goes to show you, I'm for everybody.
Well, and I think it's what we were trying to establish, and I think we are establishing it, that we just want what's best for Marion County, whether, I've learned something in the 3.5 years. I've learned a lot in the last 3.5 years. One, I've learned that having a partisanship where we have Democrats and Republicans, independents, that doesn't matter. The political affiliation shouldn't matter. It's really that when you come on the show here, you watch somebody, you look at them, and you listen to what they say, you get an idea, that's a good guy, that's a smart guy, that's a smart gal, whatever the case may be. Their ideas can move us forward, and maybe might hear a little where we can bring these people that are new to the area and bring them into the community, because we are Marion County. Mm-hmm. There is no, when someone says vote local, that's great. I think that Marion County, you're local, right? I mean, if you're in Marion County, you're local. So I absolutely agree with the message to vote local, because we're all citizens of Marion County. So
I live here. I've only lived here 3 years, but I am local now, and I'm going to retire here. This is where my home is.
why don't you real quick, the things that, since you've been here for 3 years,
Yes.
you've already said you like the schools, which is fantastic to
Yes.
hear. That's fantastic. What else do you really like about Marion County and the people? I know you've already said
I
you like.
really like the people. The people here are so much nicer, and they're more polite. I like the cleanliness of this town. I really, from where I've come from to here, y'all are clean, and I really think that's great. I mean, if you go to a restaurant, if you go to a fast food restaurant, it's clean here. You don't mind going inside and eating. You're going to laugh about this. We didn't hear sirens for 6-7 months up at my house. And when the police officers come down our street, they turn off the sirens. Never seen that in my life.
It wasn't a football night.
No, it wasn't football night. It was just, I mean, but literally, when they turned on our road, they turned off the sirens. Now, the lights were still going, but they turned it, and I was sitting there thinking, what are they doing that for? I'd never seen it before. And I thought, that's kind of polite. They're not going to wake up the whole entire neighborhood. They're being polite. But as I said, it took 6 months to hear sirens.
Okay, I got a couple of things here. And Melissa Brown said, thank you too. Better teachers though, really? Did you say something about better teachers?
I said,
More teachers.
more
like you said.
teachers.
More teachers?
More
You said
teachers.
better pay.
Better pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I heard. I wanted
Yeah.
to clarify that.
Our teachers down here are great.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem in the least with our teachers. As I said, I've got a son that goes to school here.
Yeah.
And our teachers are great. And as I said, I've talked to the principals and assistant principals, and I've been really impressed.
And then what professional background do you have to manage the budget of Marion County? This is K. Toby West. Will you continue to work your current job, or will this be your only job?
This will be my only job. I will retire from my other job or resign from my other job in Chattanooga as soon as I win this election.
Well, you have a lot. The mayor gets $10,000. I believe they call it a stipend for bringing new business to the area. So it sounds like you're going to focus primarily, if we're going to summarize everything you spoke about, infrastructure, that's a big deal, that you want to make sure that the county has a strong foundation to be able to
bring in
to be able to handle the growth.
Correct.
So that was the thing that I heard, and then
Education.
and then the next the schools you would like to see through working with the school superintendent and perhaps working with the school board, a robotics program. I think that was something we can summarize. We do know from an airport perspective that the growth of the airport to handle high performance aircraft isn't necessarily something you think we need at this point.
I don't think, as I said before, Chattanooga has a great airport. If you're going to fly in here, you would like to do business down here, you're more than welcome to rent a helicopter. We have a helipad down there. Fly down here in a helicopter. But as far as supporting big jets flying in here, I don't think we need that down in Marion County.
Or corporate jets, I think it was.
Jets.
Yeah, corporate jets.
We're not talking about passenger jets.
Yeah,
we're talking about
corporate
Lear jets.
Right. Why should the taxpayers have to pay for that? And an airport, taxpayers have to pay for it. And when you start bringing Lear jets in here, you're talking about 24-hour towers. We don't have 24-hour towers there now. We're talking about more people having to come in. And I'm all for people working, but at a taxpayer money for an airport that needs to stay open 24 hours a day now, I don't see the point in that. Not when we have a perfectly good airport 35 minutes away.
Okay, and just if there's more questions, we want to make sure.
I think we're caught up.
Okay,
Melissa said she's sorry if she misunderstood.
You're all good.
Did I miss anything on summarizing some of our conversation? If there's something more that you would like to add, please send it out.
I want everybody to know. Y'all can call me. I'm going to put my phone number on this.
Oh, you can tell the audience now if you'd like.
Here, let me get the phone number. It's 423-671-4735. And y'all can call me anytime with any questions.
Why don't you say it one more time?
It's 423-671-4735.
And this is Tim Brooks.
Y'all can call me anytime you want to with any questions you've got. I mean, I want this to be open to Marion County, the people of Marion County. I want everybody to know I'm here for y'all. There's not going to be any meetings that you can't come to. There's not going to be a day that you can't call me. It will be, I'll pick the phone up. It won't be just me saying this. I mean it. If you got a question at 3 o'clock in the morning, call me. I might sound like I'm asleep, but hey, call me.
Okay, well, folks, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the next interview. What we're going to do, we're going to take just a short break, but I want to remind everyone that we're going to do a mayoral roundtable in the next couple of weeks, and want to invite every mayoral candidate to come interview and come participate in that. And as always, I want to invite any candidate, regardless of party affiliation, in Marion County or in Jackson or Grundy County even, who wants to come on and interview on Marion County Hardball. We would love to have you. Contact us and we'll get you on the air. Also, top of the Facebook page, buy us a coffee or buy me a coffee. Rurik is uncompensated. He is a complete volunteer here, but I use any proceeds I get to help support what we're doing. And if you will give us 5 minutes, we will be back with Michael Scott Burnett, candidate for Marion County Sheriff. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back.